So let's start. I like to make this test, CAT test. How do you feel about job interview?
6.
6?
5.
8. 6. I like it. 5. With tears on your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. 4. Ah, you are curious, no? Oh, you want to see? Yeah. Other angle, yeah. How it looks like. Okay. What else? Who? What is your 8? Oh. What happened?
Just I'm curious, but a little bit intimidated.
Okay.
I would like to feel number 10.
10.
Number 10, yes, 4 to 3.
I would like, but maybe number 2.
I'm very cute. Please hire me. Yeah? Or you have another interpretation of this image?
I think it's alright.
Okay. What is your choice?
9.
9. Oh, Bergen, please. Okay. What is your choice?
I feel 9.
9, the same. And yours?
9 or 3. 9 is I hope everything will be good, and 3 I'm ready.
Very nice choice. Amina?
I think number 8.
8. Oh. We have 2 for 8, 3 for 9. Окей. У самурая немає оффера, тільки співбесіди. We have to prepare ourselves for this destination, to destiny, to have a job interview, not about offer. Just samurai has no offers, only interviews. Just to practice this, to answer these questions, to feel more confident. Allow yourself to be relaxed and just have a practice in job interview for a moment. And how HR manager may looks like. Have you seen a panel of job interviewer?
Yeah.
Or 2? Or 1? Which is more scarier for you?
This sort of option.
3rd.
Oh, third? Okay. Oh, why?
It's right. There are many people in your one, so it's better than one-to-one, or at least 2-1. But when I think two or more, they have more questions, and you also have to concentrate on many people.
Mm-hmm.
It's better to have one-to-one, and you have to persuade more.
If just one, but very, very grumpy.
Yeah, it could be.
Yes? But all of them also have some needs. They need to hire someone for their company and solve the problem for the staff, to cover this problem. So they're also nervous. In job interview, 2 sides, both they are a bit nervous. You are a bit nervous because you don't know whether you pass a job interview or no, will be hired or no. But they are also nervous because they need to solve big problem for their company. You have to prove them that you are, convince them that you are right solution for this company. So let's help them. On previous session, we talked with you about CV. We pack our knowledge and skills, experience to the CV, and now job interview. This is like unpackage this for this CV and show up yourself. We can even divide our CV. Who has with you? Have you brought CV? No? Okay. So this CV can be divided on specific questions. For example, tell me about yourself. It's a summary CV and career map. Also common interview questions. Why this role? You can answer linked by skills and experience bullet. What is your strength? It's also about skills and example of problem solving, teamwork, conflict. This is about your experience explained by STARS method. Questions about this section of your CV. What is your what's your proudest achievement? Of course, it's about achievements. Okay, great. See you.
Alina, I just want to add one thing over here.
Yeah,
normally, what happens is the first question is very important during any interviews, and that normally first question is they will thank you for attending the interview, and then they would ask you, tell us a bit about yourself and why you have applied for this role in our company. So that one question, you have to explain it, the profile, your profile statement. You have to tell them about the role or about your previous experience. It doesn't matter if your experience is in this country or, because once you have reached that stage of being interviewed, so you have to express yourself, you have to sell yourself. So that first question is your chance to express yourself. You have to be very confident, and as research says that 55% how the other one perceive you is your body language. 35% is the tone. So you have to be very confident, speak while speaking, look at them, not over here or there. It's better to look at them, and your tone should be like with confidence you should be speaking, and only 10% what you say matters. But sometimes it does matter, 10% also. So you have to tell them about your past experience. If you have applied, say, any administration role, you tell them that I have been in this industry for 10 years, and I have been in specific, if there is a manager or is a receptionist, I have been doing this for last 2 years also. So this will give them the idea how much time you have given this role you are applying for.
This is your time for elevator pitch.
Yeah. So these are very important. The first question is very important. So it will also set the tone and the pitch of the whole interview, how they will be taking you, how they will be understanding you. So that is very important, how you explain yourself. So the first question is very important. Yes.
I just want to mention that profile, it's about, it's linked to your elevator pitch. Tell me about yourself, what Tarek just said. These skills, it's more strengths-based questions when someone asks you about what are you good at, what is your skills. Competency-based questions, this is a section about your experience. Give me example when in some situation and you have to explain from your experience how you managed some situation in the past using the STAR method, which we will talk a bit later. And how do you keep your skills up to date? This is about your education section. What makes you stand out? Why you are unique? You also can add something special. You can prepare, the good news is that you can prepare your response in advance, especially elevator pitch. This is for 3, maximum 5 minutes. You have to know this by your heart and explain very quickly, easily. And also you can train yourself with STAR method. Elevator pitch, this is who you are, what are you bring to company, and what is unique about you. And call to action, just, I want to apply for this position, I'm good at this and this and this. Here I just explain, up to 60-second elevator pitch, it should be very small speech. And build your personal identity. I am good in this area of industry. Be confident in networking and interview. Make others wants to know more about you. I don't want to stop on this section. We talk about this when we had previous session about CV. And here is example of elevator pitch. Who you are? My name. So here job description: accountant. What they have to know: requirements, financial management, strategic financial planning, and how to build this elevator pitch. Who you are? My name is Olena Shevchenko, an experienced accountant with a master's degree from the Kyiv Technical University and an ACCA certification from London. I'm so sorry, I'm not accountant. What do you do? In my previous role, I managed all accounting transactions, prepared budget forecasts, and built and maintained trustworthy relationship with clients. What is unique about you? My favorite part of my role is finding unique ways for financial operation to save money while satisfying both clients and company. What highlight this Olena highlighted in this section?
She's looking for unique ways.
Unique ways. So a company will receive someone who knows this. Unique ways also. Unique ways aimed for what? Solving problems, saving money, saving problems, and also it's about not just company, but also about client. So client will be satisfied as well. I was awarded Employee of the Year in 2023 as like improvement of her achievement. So she's really very experienced. I speak in 2 languages. Call to actions. Your blah 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 company has 20 years of success in the market in London. The values of teamwork and excellence are important to me as well, and I would be happy to join and contribute to your team. What in this section Olena shown? That she already know about company, how long they exist on the market, what their value are, and she shows that this value align with her own position.
Yeah, this is very important. You know, before going to any interview, you have to research about the company where you are applying. Look at the website, look at the material which is available about that, and then look at the ad which they have given, because that piece of document is very, very important. Every ad will tell you what sort of questions they would be asking. Every job specification which they give on that ad advertisement for the job, they will tell you that these are the essential requirements for that candidate. Essential means that you have to have those qualities, you have to have those skills before applying for that certain job. So you look out for those essential which they have put up in the ad. You know, these are the essential requirements. If, say, for that matter, if you need to have ACCA certification, so the people, those who have these certification, they can only apply for these jobs. So if, like for administration job, normally they don't mention any qualification, but they mention the skills, that you know how to answer telephone, you know how to be, what about the diversity, how to handle problematic situations. So these are for the safeguarding material. So these sort of things you have to look at before going for the interview. So research on the company where you are going for the interview is very, very important.
Mm-hmm. Just can I give this example?
Yeah, like if there is a company whose values are, you have to be honest, you have to be hardworking, you have to be communicative. So these are their values. So you can tell them that my values are aligned with your company's value. I am very honest, I am hardworking, I am communicative. So you have to see, every company has its own values written on their websites. So you have to find out what are the values. So you have to portray that you are aligned with those values while applying for the similar job in their company. So if any question, do you understand how you have to look up for the ad and you have to do the research for that certain company and look at the values which that company portrays. That is also very important.
And where you can make research about company? What will be good resource for searching? Do you have any website? Okay.
Social media.
Social media. Yeah.
Last session, you told us that we can use AI for
AI,
this.
yeah, also good. I would recommend use feedback website on the company, not on specific company, but this accelerator of feedbacks from previous employee, to look what look like this company inside, because not everything.
Where we can find this information?
You can try LinkedIn also, because most of the companies are on the LinkedIn. So you can check LinkedIn website.
About feedback.
Yeah, because on the LinkedIn there are reviews also given by the ex-employees, how they were working, why they left that company or still they are there. So people do leave their comments, their reviews on LinkedIn profiles. So that's
I've never seen it.
LinkedIn?
Yeah, LinkedIn, they have that, you can leave your reviews.
LinkedIn, it's like, let's say, like a Facebook, and you.
I never seen in LinkedIn feedback.
Come.
Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
I mean LinkedIn.
But you can see the comments.
Comments.
Okay.
These comments can be not honest.
Yes, definitely. But if there are like 20 comments, you can read them. Then you have to do your own research also. Definitely, you would not be just relying on those comments. You would be doing your own research also. So you can check those things.
You also can find some reviews in
Indeed, is
reviews. You can also check
Glassdoor
some
as well.
Glassdoor.
Mm.
Absolutely, those are web portal where you can find reviews.
Google, I was leaving a negative review about and it was just like the interview stage, but it was the last stage, and they had to say at least like yes or no, and they didn't, and HR was ignoring, and that's why I pissed off and wrote like, so you are asking for communicative skills, but what about you? And people actually agreed, but it was on Google Maps where people are living and stuff. But yeah, that was, I just think we also have to say the truth about this.
Yeah, so many different platforms where you can search for feedback. I want to ask, who is ready to present themselves right now, right here? Yeah, and quiet. Zhenya, maybe you? You are very experienced
Yeah.
in job
I have
interview.
to finish the edit.
Okay. Do you?
Not today, thank you. Sorry.
I know someone who is.
I don't want because it's filming.
Okay. I took it. What is next? Next is what you don't need to do. Please don't. When someone asks about your skills, show funny stuff. Sometimes HR not understand your joke. Show how much your match with the company. Here, what we are talking just about, learn about the company history and latest news, the company values, and job description for the role. You can do it with AI help. And do you remember when we talked about CV and CV strategies? One is for those who don't have any experience, and you have to rely on your education and personal skills, qualities. If you change your role, you have to rely and highlight transferable skills. And the easiest way, of course, if you have relevant experience, you just explain this very easy and straightforward. What about experience? The most often asking questions, competency questions. Give us example when. For this questions we use STAR method. Can you explain?
Yeah. So STAR method is the most common method where we can answer all the questions. So the first is situation. You have to present any situation because it's always a better idea to give examples, give evidence while answering any questions. So it's always better to give any situation present over there, and then the task which that situation has created and you have completed that task, what sort of action you have taken to complete that task, and then the result, the outcome of that thing. So you have to explain that thing. So if we just take any example, like if you say that have you been able to, have you ever done any training? If there is a job which requires training, you can tell them, yes, I have done training to my people. I was a team leader in my previous job, and whenever there is a task or some event they were catering, we have to give them training beforehand. So we have to tell them that how they have to complete these tasks. So we have to properly train them. So this is how you tell them, and the outcome of that is when the time comes in, the team was ready to complete those tasks because they were told beforehand and they were trained beforehand. So that is the outcome, that the end of that training, the outcome of that task was that they complete that task in the most better way, so that the outcome is constructive outcome of that task. So STAR is the word where situation, and then the task, and the action is what you have taken and the result of that action in the end. So you have to explain that in every question.
How to transform interview response into stories of success. Let's start from explaining the situation. A guest complained at reception about the quality of room cleaning at 1 a.m. What task was? We described the situation very quickly in one sentence. Then explain the task. I had to resolve these complaints to ensure the guest was happy and satisfied. Actions. What actions these girls or guy took? I informed the manager, called the cleaner on duty and checked the room after it was cleaned, and arranged a fruit set and bottle of champagne for the guests. So this person not just managed the situation, resolved the problem, also she or he tried to make to be ensured that clients is satisfied. He arranged a fruit set and bottle of champagne. So how will feel client after that, when the problem was solved and also has some benefit, had some benefits? I think it's everything okay. And what's the result? As a result, the client was grateful for the quick response to his complaint and wrote a positive review on TripAdvisor, which helped to increase the property's rating as well. So, as a result, client satisfied, good feedback on TripAdvisor, and also increased property rating. Do you think this candidate will be hired or no after this explanation? this situation. Maybe not for accounting position, but
Yeah.
for housekeeping, yes. Sometimes the HR manager asks provocative questions to double check your motivation. You worked as an accountant in the past. Don't you think you are overqualified for the receptionist job? It's very often happened with Ukrainian where we have master degree or bachelor, but we are enrolled, sent our application form just for position receptionist, how it could be. And last time you have had job interview?
Yes, for one of the organization, I was on the panel to take the interview, and the job application job ad was for receptionist. And the people, those who applied, there was one person who has just completed her master's from London School of Economics. And the other one was also, she had 15 years experience of being international law from Iran, but they were applying here for the receptionist. So the panel was they were not disturbed by whoever is applying for the qualification, but they were looking how long they would stay there. That is the concern of the company. They don't want rotational thing, they don't want people to be hired who are not faithful to the companies. They are looking for people, those who want to stay with them on a longer term. Yes, definitely, people have the right to leave that job. But then again, while giving the interview, you have to show your full passion that you are good enough for this job. And that is where it counts the most.
When you're applying for example, for receptionist, but you have another experience, you have to prove that you want to be a receptionist and you know how to do all the duties. Because receptionist, for example, what does it mean to be a receptionist?
Receptionist means you have to, you are the first point of contact for any customer coming into that organization. So you have to be very welcoming. You know how to answer the phones, you know how to deal with the person, you know how to signpost them. These are the basic requirements. You have to know that how to keep the record. You have to know how to act upon the GDPR, that how the data or the information, whoever comes to you with the issues, their information should be kept confidential. So these are the basic requirements for any receptionist. So the basic thing is that whoever comes in, you have to make him or her comfortable, that they are welcome, and that is how you act your responsibilities, and specification or job specifications shows that also.
Not every accountant can be a receptionist, because for accountant not so important to have high communication skills.
Yeah.
But in this case, you have to communicate all the time with people and different people, maybe with trauma, maybe from different culture, and you don't know how to deal with them. So it's also experience and responsibility.
Yeah, these days every company, every organization gives value how much you know about the diversity and the equality. Those two words are very, very important. So you have to know about the diversity and the equality, because we have to respect the diverse, because there are so many different people you will be interacting. You have to respect, you have to understand, you have to take care of the needs of every individual. And at the same time, you cannot prioritize any individual or group. So they have to be treated equally. So these two words are very, very important, diversity and equality.
Also can be a gap in work experience. How would you manage this?
Yeah, that is very important question, and that is often in the case of people, those who have been, they have children, sometimes they have a gap because of that, or sometimes they are having an extra education, that is the reason because they have, but then you have to explain that gap. You have to explain it, whatever the reason is, you have to explain it to the panel that this is the reason that we have a gap in my education, or the starting the new job, or between two jobs, why you had a gap. So if you have any reason, you have to inform them honestly.
What would be what could be a good reason for a gap? How in good way explain this gap?
That have to be honesty. You have to tell them whatever the reason is. You can be my guide. You can tell me.
If I was imprisoned, for example, for
Yeah.
2 years.
That is where the quality comes in. If that company has the rules, their own policy that they will be treating everybody equally, whatever you have a crime record, they've always mentioned that you have to tell them. So it's always, honesty is the best policy. You have to tell them whether you are in prison or anywhere, but the reason of the gap has to be told if it's been asked. You can't just shy away, you just can't make up your own reasons.
Mm-hmm. And when a recruiter asks you about question, what they want to hear from you, it's like psychologist test for you. If they have some on their back of mind, some ideas, what is really being checked. How do you estimate the result of your work? What do you think? What they want to check in this case?
Self-confidence.
Self-confidence, okay. Any other suggestion? What do you think?
The outcomes, result of there are certain parameters for everything. The accountability has to be there. The organizations have their own parameters. The parameters are being set to estimate the outcome of your job. Like in previous example where we said that, how that person in the cleaner, he got that complaint that the room has to be set by 1 a.m., 1 p.m. and how she performed her work. She could have only cleaned it and then gone. There won't be that extra, the feedback or reviews would be given. But the cleaner has done things separately. She has done, or he has done some extra work in it, which the results become more constructive. The outcome of those actions was more constructive, more result oriented. So that is how those are the parameters, like what you do things where the end result is better what you were expecting.
Mm-hmm. Let's say, how do you estimate your result of work?
From the feedback.
From feedback.
From feedback, or if they have given
so
some end goals,
oriented.
Or there are end goals given, then you have to see you have achieved those goals.
Mm-hmm. So you put the client on the top.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
And the values.
The
values of the company is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe sometimes clients ask you some favors which are not go well with the company's or organization values. So you can't just keep on doing things which are not right for the company. So you have to balance out both things.
When the recruiters ask you about how you estimate the result of your work, they actually want to know your locus of control. Do you take ownership for outcomes or blame external factors? The result was made by you take this responsibility, or you just blame someone else, just This is have done because of someone. Why it matters? People with internal locus tend to reflect, improve, and grow. A big plus in most roles, but it is nuanced. For manager, it will be good if some external perspective is important. So they are looking not just for clients, not just for the boss, for example, but they are looking for market forces, team dynamic. For client-facing roles, they focus on client feedback and outcomes. What is your?
Yes, along with that, I personally believe that the values are also very important. It's not about clients every time if they ask some things which are not aligned with the values of the organization and you have your own values. Client can ask anything. They can ask unreasonable things also. So you can't just fulfill those things. So you have to keep a balance about the values also. That is where in the first question when you were answering, you always study what are the values of the organizations. And that also has to be aligned. That has to be kept in mind while doing your work. Those are one of the parameters we have to be considered.
Okay, so example of answer. I missed a deadline once due to poor time planning. I've since learned to build in buffer time and communicate delays early. So, and I underestimate the complexity of task. Now I break down task into small steps with checkpoints. Second questions. Tell me about a time you failed. I guess the answer was for this task. For these questions. Tell me about a time you failed. What wants to hear recruiters and what they are checking in this case? Why they are asking about fails, about mistakes?
I think he wants to hear how you solve a problem.
I think he wants to hear about how you solve a problem, not only about your mistake, more what you did after you understand it.
What you learned
Yeah, that's
from
both
this
of you are
situation.
right.
Good.
Yeah, good.
I agree.
Yeah, 100%. Learning is the process which keeps on going. And learning from your mistakes is very, very important. Having a reflection on your work is very important. We normally say the successful people always, at the end of the day, they reflect how the whole day they have passed, what are the things they have done, where they have gone wrong, what they could do better next day. So the reflection is very, very important.
Steven, by the way, why the recruiter ask about time someone failed?
What are you asking?
That's a very important question.
Tell me about the time you failed. Why the recruiters or
Why recruiters ask this question?
manager ask about this?
Well, I think it's two things. One is to be honest, and it's not so much when you failed, what did you learn through that failure? In America, they say you can only be a successful businessman or woman if you failed. There's a much stronger emphasis on trying.
It's for startup very important.
It
If
is.
you fail, you are more, you grow your capacity.
Yeah.
Well, most people, when they're developing a startup, use this phrase, fail fast.
Mm-hmm.
If you're developing a product, it's important to realize why it's not going to work before you spend more money. And this idea of iterative, it's a very interesting phrase, iterative. You think, make a mistake, think, grow, get feedback, and you make progress, but it's much more around what they call co-design. So they're really asking about how self-aware you are. Now, if somebody says, "Oh, I've never failed in my life,"
It's not me.
it's not me. Or you could say, "I'll tell you a personal story. I failed maybe in bringing up children. I felt that I was too lenient or too hard." I think it's really about, what do you want to share that sets you apart? So it's a good question to think about when you're having an interview. And sometimes it's also good, if you don't know, just to think, well, that's a good question. Just say, that's a good question. I suppose I'd say I try not to fail by being very prepared. I know that sometimes when I've made a mistake, I know that I can have gone to a manager who's helped me to understand why I made that mistake. It's a really good learning curve. It's all different for all of us, isn't it? We don't want to be too rehearsed as if we're little machines. Oh, I fail. Just try to find something that's really authentic and can turn a difficult question into something that's memorable. And giving examples is really important because people remember the example. I failed. I know that. I failed actually in producing this. You see this booklet? Helena knows this. I've tried to get this out and I failed. Schools don't want to buy it. It's not on the curriculum. Parents think, well, my kids know it. And I've failed. But that hasn't meant that by writing it and designing it, I haven't learned something. And for the few people who've read it like today, it might be, like you.
Yeah, this is the best example, What he has done basically is his best work turned and showed that this is a failure. But the interview knew that this is something which he has produced brilliantly. So in a way you are portraying your good thing and telling them this is my failure. So you are taking your parameter quite high.
Yeah.
So your failure might be somebody else the triumph. So that is very important. So you always portray your good things.
So there is important growth mindset that you are not fixed. You want to learn from your mistake, and growth mindset more valuable than perfectionism.
Yes.
And they're interested, what did you do next?
Yeah.
So again, pro tip, be honest but brief about the failure. Focus more on the lesson and improvement.
Yes. What were the examples there? There's a couple here. I missed a deadline once due to poor time planning. I've since learned to build in buffer time. I understand. Underestimated. This is a very good word. Underestimated. I didn't realise how long it would take. But that means that you know that next time you do know how long it takes.
So next question, the third. What motivates you? Have a guess why a recruiter can ask you about your motivations and what they want to know through these questions.
It's maybe if our values the same that values company. Also, maybe it's about how long you will work with this company, because if traveling motivates you, then you could stay.
Good. Anything can motivate you.
That it's not only money. They're afraid that the person is also shares values and care about the project.
Money also motivates, so it's not bad to even accept. Yeah.
Well, you could in some professions, if you are on a commission, if you were working in a bank where you're getting commission, you could say, genuinely, I really want to be very successful in my work. Earning money is important to me. I have a very, lavish lifestyle. You don't say that. But I think it is okay. I think what's the important thing is to be honest, and to think about why the person is asking the question. If you're working with children and young people, What motivates you? I really care for children. I'm very passionate about children who are excluded. My child has special needs. I know what parents need. And that's authentic, can you see? And some of you will go into jobs which are very different from what you've done before. And this is where with Tarek and with Yana, interview practice is very important. Because it's like acting a little bit. It is. You have to almost act and stand out. And there are techniques and tips which you can help you with. But this is a very important question, isn't it?
You know, I can give you the example because in Pakistan I had a stitching unit, which means that people were making garments. And they were paid per piece. Like if they make one garment, they will be paid per garment. So this is their motivation. If somebody is making 500 garments, they will be making more money.
Yeah.
So this was their motivation, that more production could be done out of this and they can make more money.
Yeah.
So the recruiter asked to understand your drive. Is it aligned with the company values and the role? And not just working for the paycheck, by the way. Yeah. It matters. Pro tips. Link your motivation to the mission of the company, impact of your work and team dynamics. Example. I'm motivated by helping clients solve real problems. I love seeing the result of my work in action. I enjoy improving systems and making things more efficient. It keeps me engaged. Do you have example from your perspective? What motivates you?
You know, I can give my example, my own example.
You have microphone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whole of my life, I was doing business. For 32 years, I was doing only business. And when I moved here in the UK, I entirely changed my profession, my way of earning. I was started doing volunteering work. And then I realized working with people, though I was in a labor-intensive industry, but working with people, making them happy, helping them, how big and motivational thing it is. I can't even imagine. Now this is my passion of my life, helping people, supporting them to get the things done. The people are so much in need of support. And when you play a small part in fulfilling that need is so fruitful, that is beyond any other motivational thing.
One of the things I'm motivated by seeing people grow. If you've ever employed people, it's a real privilege. It's also, don't tell them, very stressful. Because you always have to bring the money in to pay. I was talking to a very successful businessman who ran his own computer company. It was called Happy Computers. His name is Henry Stewart. Lovely. And he said, I can find 8 or 9 people who I know can do the job. And I get them in a room, and he said this, it was for a manager post. He said, the person I choose is the person who made the other people look good. And he said, that's why, because as a manager, I don't want someone who's got sharp elbows and pushes people out of the way. I want somebody who, the biggest job for a manager is making sure that their staff love what they do. Almost 80% of that is. And they can't love everything they do, but you've got to get them to play to their strengths and be happy. And if they're happy, then their work will be happy. So I think it's really just by being honest and thinking, what is the job that you're going for? And if you were interviewing somebody else, what would you be looking for? Now, let's not make it, let's be real. You are having to face huge challenges about learning how to communicate that in English, you know? And some of your English is outstanding. We were talking in our group, and the words you were using and the language and the understanding of the grammar is amazing. But just the more you practice, the more you'll feel confident. And it may be that you're going for a more junior role. Natalia, you were saying your English at the moment isn't good enough to go back into banking, but don't underestimate the way that you come across, your personal skills, your ability to share your story, to show what motivates you. These are things that employers really want to hear.
Thank you. Let's go forward. And the next question, how do you handle conflict in a team? What wants to learn from this answer? Recruiters. How you can handle conflict?
Well, you have to show how you dealt with it, and it always has to be positive, just because then you're problematic.
Have you to oh my God, always make compromise?
No. I try just not to have like conflicts. Just ask more questions.
Would you avoid conflict?
Depends. Here, probably yes, because I know that here people don't say face-to-face things like in Ukraine, and nobody here. And here also, like, you have to be the first person who complains to the manager, because if you're the second, you're always gonna be guilty.
Wow,
that's true.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one thing that's different here in the UK with what I've seen in Ukraine. I've been to Ukraine 3 times, and it's quite a monoculture, not ethnically, but certainly racially. And here in the UK, there's a much stronger emphasis on diversity. There is something called equal opportunities, where you cannot discriminate on grounds of race, age, sex, sexual orientation, whether you're a parent, what's the next couple of words, disability. And so what you'll find here, if you work in a company, there may be very, very diverse members of your team from different cultures and backgrounds. And so sometimes there is conflict because cultures don't understand each other. Sometimes there's differences because people can be prejudiced. You know the word prejudice? They're racist. They're ableist, they're ageist. So I think one of the things that you have to think about is, in this country there is such a variety and such a diversity, and there are what's called protected characteristics in law. So you can be sacked if you're racist in a work. You can be sacked even if you don't understand or agree about transitioning or sexual orientation or gender reassignment. These are very important things to think about. And we were talking about that with our group from more conservative cultures. And it's hard to understand that, but that's an important part of where you can have conflict. Isn't that right, Helena? Well, you know, in our staff team of 10 people...
Conflict is about growth, can be.
Yes, absolutely.
It's about development and...
No, like my point was not about this issue. It's obvious. Nobody, people are not stupid. They know how it works in the UK, and the majority, if they don't want to lose the job, they won't be. I was talking about...
No, I didn't hear what you said. You almost indicated that I was talking bullshit. No. What were you saying? We all know how it works. What do you mean by that?
Well, that racism is you can't say these things. It's automatically going to be fired.
Good, okay.
So this is...
Yeah.
I was talking about conflicts, for instance. Your colleague constantly misses deadlines, and you depend on this colleague. But this colleague can say I feel a lot of if this colleague goes first and says I feel a lot of pressure, they're asking me, blah, blah, blah. And then if you're second, you're gonna be seen a pushy person. But actually, this person is irresponsible because they miss the deadline, and that's why the quality drops. So here is just this is I hear a lot, and from British people, that you have to be first when in terms, and I'm not talking this is about discrimination. I'm not even mentioning it. It's obvious, but I'm talking about when it really affects your job, and that's why you have to be always first in a kind of report, and it's never like in Ukraine, it was always like face to face, like, listen, I feel like tension. Can we have a chat about it? And people did it. No managers, well, only if it's a big thing, people are getting mad. But usually we solve it like this, like in person. But here, I know if you start to say these things, that's very bad.
Are you talking more about a corporate culture?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, a corporate culture.
Corporate, yeah.
A corporate,
Office.
a very big business.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah,
businesses.
I'm talking about this.
Okay.
I'm talking
Well,
about this.
Just with respect, most of the jobs in this country aren't corporate. Most jobs are small. In Lewisham, we have only 2 or 3 companies that have got more than 200 people in. Sainsbury's, the hospital, Goldsmiths. The majority are small businesses like us. We have 8 people. So I'm glad you've said that the points I made here, which can cause conflict, are obvious. They're obvious to you. With respect, some other people from different cultures don't understand that. So I stand corrected. It is obvious to you, fine. But there can be cultures because there can be conflict because you misunderstand people, or people feel that they've been victimized, or people feel misunderstood. And there are very deep reasons around their own personal circumstances. I suppose one of the things is about how do you avoid conflict. It's one thing about responding to conflict, but how are you a good team player? And you do need to report if there's conflict. Sometimes that's interesting. You go to your HR manager and say our team is falling apart. But it's also a good sign that if you were working if you're applying for a job where you are the manager, what I said about that example of sharp elbows, you have to help other people do good work, and you have to make sure you avoid conflict. What do other people think? Do share. 'Cause sometimes, yes. What do you think? Is it different?
But we have question. Handle conflict.
Yeah.
You see, conflict
It's
already.
I think if you're gonna have this conflict, it's a part.
We already have conflict.
You already have a conflict.
Okay.
Again, Halina said it's the part of the process. So sometimes people can't agree on the idea. Someone says like, oh, this idea is going to be better for the business. Another one says like, no, this is going to be. And they like can't find. So they need like a referee, in this situation.
Yeah.
But there's also can be a conflict. Like
Well, conflict is a good thing
Yeah.
in some places because you get perspective.
Yeah.
Let me reveal my
Yeah.
notes.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you not.
Let Halina solve this conflict. Yes.
Yes, so what they are really asking, they want to know if you are emotionally intelligent, solution-oriented, and solution, yes, and not easy reactive. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
And why it matter, good team players resolves issue, not escalate them. So those who go to the manager, is it about escalation or no?
Well, I think it depends how serious the conflict is.
Yeah.
I think if I was asked that question, I'd say the first thing I do was really try and listen and understand. So if there's conflict in my team, I say, so Helena, what you're saying is, have I got that right? That's a really important skill. And then when there's conflict, I'd say, well, it depends on the seriousness of it. If somebody's being victimized, if they're being bullied intentionally, then I would escalate that. But I also would say, and I probably disagree with you, that how do you handle conflict is make sure it doesn't happen in the first place. And so you want to prevent conflict by having an open space to say we can always talk about these things, not to avoid conflict. Lots of people are scared about conflict. I know Ukrainians can name it, which is great. I wish I was more like that. Mm-hmm. I'm a people pleaser. I don't want to affect you. I don't want to... You hate this, oh gosh. Yes.
But actually people who are people pleasers are successful.
Are successful, thank you. Because in a way, you have to manage people and you have to compromise. The old authoritarian model of do what I tell you, by and large that model is gone. People know their rights. They're looking for more than just money. They want to be respected. They want to grow. They want to have team leadership responsibilities. So, and this word solutions-oriented is very important. What are we trying to do as a team? How can we support each other in the task that we're doing? Those things are really important. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah? Some of this is obvious, I suppose, and I don't want to patronize anybody. You've all got experience of working. You're all mid-age, you've got lovely experience. But the reason why we're asking this is how do you rehearse that in an interview? And there are sensitive things that British people are looking at. And even if you talked about conflict in a team, I'm really committed to equal opportunities. I really believe that sometimes women are excluded from making decisions makers. Now, you don't want to look like you're a strong, disruptor, but I think there are intelligent ways to answer that question. And the more you prepare and the more you think about actual examples, I think it's great. I hope that's helpful. Yes, we've got a bit of feedback. Come on, tell me.
Yeah.
Just a few words that in any conflict there are 2 or 3 magic words as sorry or I apologize. I didn't how I said it to my former colleague, that I didn't intend to offend you.
Gosh.
I'm so sorry for this, and I want to cooperate with you and I want to continue working with you, because manager was there were 3 of us, and manager asked us, I mean my former colleague and me, it was in the past, that's why I'm talking like this, and he wanted to understand that we are not stuck in this conflict, and we are happy to cooperate, go further and cooperate with one another, trust one another, and clients, because we have had to interact with clients, and clients don't see any agreement, any arguing or misunderstanding between, for instance, colleagues.
Yeah. That word about, very good, and being able to apologise or say, look, I'm sorry that that's come across that way, I think is a really important way to stop conflict growing. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Just take it, a conflict can be if you have any relationship with your sibling, with your partner, you have a conflict with that. It's the same way if you have the conflict with your team member. It's the same parameters. You have to be respectful, you have to compromise somewhere, and then you have to listen.
And the last one, 5th question, is my favorite, and I guess all Ukrainians like these questions. So if someone asks you, where do you see yourself in 3-5 years?
Yeah.
No one
I was asked.
You were
Right.
not here.
Why not?
Here no one asked.
No one
Is that
asking?
a bad thing?
Steven asked me, and I guess it was one of my failure.
Nowadays it's quite a stupid question.
Stupid question?
Yeah. You don't know what will be in 3-5 years.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
I would answer that by saying, I don't think anybody knows what's happening in 3 to 5 years, but what I would answer is say, if this became a very good appointment for me, I'd love to carry on working with you here, or I'd love to grow my career so that I can make your company more successful. I mean, some of this is almost saying what you expect them to hear, and that's why I say it's a bit acting. But you've just got to come across as authentic, as passionate.
But I never had such question.
You were saying, I did ask you, did I?
Yeah, yes, you asked.
Did I in the question, in the
Yes.
interview?
Yes. And I didn't know what to answer, really.
Oh, I'm sorry. And that was, to be fair, that was a very insensitive question.
But
This-
do you remember, it was 3 years ago.
Ah, lovely. And look at what she's done in 3
Yeah.
years. When she first came, she couldn't get out of the interview quick enough. You understand? Because I said, have you got any more questions? She said, yes, can I go? And yeah, I could see something in her. She was brilliant. Listen, it is a hard question, but if they ask it, what don't you say? Oh, got no idea. I'll take your job.
It also, yes, it also depends on the company. When you are and sometimes the intentions are not revealed. So I was talking with my colleague, and he said, I would never hire a person who says, who seems like ambitious and wants to grow. I need the person who will stay on the same like on the same place and like just do the job that I need from him. And that's why it's always like, you know, you're kind of guessing and it's not clear. Obviously, everybody wants to grow. So like, but how can you find out it in the job description? And you can't kind of like ask, so, oh no, you can kind of ask, is there any development in my role? And then find out, are they really into this idea or not? But like, as I told you, like I thought like being ambitious is always positive, but turns out like no, they want the person the person.
Some companies do.
Exactly.
You know, if they're making widgets, they want somebody who will just make widgets.
Exactly.
But what is true is that the world of work is changing all the time, and we need people who can push new boundaries and think about new ways and adjacent markets. And so what you could answer that question is, well, it depends a little bit where the company is thinking of being in 3 to 5 years' time.
Yeah, I just want to say that it depends on life circle of company.
It does.
Yeah.
And also, for a local shop, if you're going to a cafe, they're not going to ask you, where do you think you'll be in 3 to 5 years' time? This is a job that comes out really from corporate culture. Corporate big jobs, you know, work for Barclays or a big law firm, they'd ask that because they're also thinking about, are they going to invest in you to want to stay in this profession? If somebody answers, well, next year I want to go travelling, that may be true, but it's not going to endear you to somebody. Endear meaning, you know,
go well.
Endear, appreciate them. Yeah.
This is if and they ask where you see yourself in 5 years. Mental hospital. And this is in Ukrainian. Evgenia, can you translate? Ким ви себе бачите через 5 років? Я осліп від блискучих перспектив. Where do you see yourself in
a couple of years? I'm blinded by the shiny opportunities.
I'm blinded by all those opportunities.
Yeah. Testing your ambitions, as Evgenia said, align with whether this ambition aligns with the company and how long you plan to stay in this company. They want to invest in people who grow with the company, not jump ship. Again, please don't sound as job hopping. Example, I see myself taking on more responsibility in the field and possibly mentoring others. I would love to deepen my experience and be part of strategic decision making.
Yeah.
Could be.
This is self-development, self-growth.
Your questions to show your motivations. It's time, by the end of the job interview, always time to ask your questions and what it could be. So always ask questions, no question, no motivations. From this, recruiter and manager understands that you are not interested in this position because you don't want to know any details of this. I just want to explain in previous our session. This is employer, and this is she looks like a Ukrainian famous singer, Claudia Petrivna. So it's not who you are thinking about. This is Ukrainian singer. This is employees. What you can ask as a recruiter. What are the main goals for this role? What careers opportunity does the company offer? Is the company open to new ideas? Does the company offer insurance? And what else you can ask? Would you ask?
Maybe about education or not education, training. Yeah. Something. Yeah.
Nothing. I'm not interested in this position. Okay.
About a team, with whom you will work, about their personality, about their roles, how many.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question.
What did help you personally to succeed in this company?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things
Question?
you could do is to show your skills. So I talked to Olga today. Olga, you have 3 languages. No, it was you talked about Russian, Ukrainian, and English. Well,
decided that we don't want
no, okay, sorry, but you've got sometimes. So you could say, does the company have any ambitions to work more internationally? I've got great language skills. Or you could say, I'm just interested, do you have other Ukrainians that you've appointed? You know, we are very hard working. I hope that that's been your experience. Anything that I think makes you look a little bit good. Don't ever ask for salary, you know, because that's the second conversation once you've been appointed a job.
I'm not so sure about the last question.
No, nor am I. Does it, because if they get sued or... Why would you ask about insurance?
About whether I'm safety on this space.
Oh, okay.
National insurance means
Well,
maybe
if
they are
insurance
contributing,
people-
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question. If you had a disability, the important question.
I have a questions to you. What you were asked from this job interview panel very often?
They normally ask about what sort of team they would be working in, and what is the career growth in the company, what is the possible, if there is any training provided, or opportunities to get more training courses to be done. These sort of questions are very important.
Did they
They
ask
normally-
about salary?
No, nobody, because now whatever ads are given, they normally mention the salary. So salaries are mentioned on the ads, on the advertisements, whenever there is. So I was looking at it, there was an advertisement of Indeed, and they said, what is the salary, what do you expect? And they both were in very uncomfortable position, the interviewer and the interviewee. And then they said, you should be on Indeed, because they always mention the salaries on Indeed. So you don't need to ask and answer this sort of questions. So that's a very awkward question.
Maybe they negotiate this salary.
Yeah, but now normally that is the reason they always mention it. So they write the higher point also, but then you have to prove them that you are capable of that higher point. Like they have sometime in some council jobs or jobs which are related to some cadre, they write like 25,000 to 30,000. So they start with the lowest one, but if you are already at 29, you are taking, you can show them and prove them, then they would go for the higher point. So these sort of things are for the...
Okay, thank you. How to practice the job interview? Today you have some, you had chance to practice. Do you remember, no?
In front of mirror.
In front of mirror, yes, good.
Yeah.
AI sometimes, yeah.
Someone want to say something?
Yeah, but usually it's better with a real person.
It is.
It
How it
is.
was with our volunteers? No? Who was on speaking club? Volunteers? Huh? Did you have a chance to practice in job interview?
Not really. We speak more about CV and skills. Yeah.
CV and skills. But it's very much related to the job interview. So as we said, we can use AI tools. To some of apps you can use also ChatGPT and interview warm-up from Google. Here I won't read this. You will have how to use AI for the mock interview
These are prompts.
and also some prompts for this.
Very nice.
You can upload CV and job descriptions and generate role-specific interview questions, practice answer them, ask the feedback, analyze your, ask about analyzing your feedback. Here is also prompts template, so you can ask about, generate some ideas, compare options, step-by-step instructions. Expert role prompt. You can ask GPT act like recruiters who ask you questions on job interview, and you can ask them specific question for your profession, your position. What else? Review and improve. Ask him to review your answer. Scenario simulation. Also very related to a job interview. Okay, also you can combine AI and peer practice. One of opportunity, and this is a go to job fair and speed dating with employers. Who have done this? Do you have experience to talk in job fair? Yeah. Plenty of?
Job fair, but like no job.
Okay.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that.
I have a picture in this case, for this case. Okay. Anyway.
One question. Has anybody done interview practice where you filmed yourself?
No.
We used to do this quite a lot, where we have a tripod and just put the camera and then have an interview with somebody and just watch your body language. Now remember, a lot of the decisions are made on how you come across. And this is why it's like acting, because you've got to present yourself positively. But then when you see yourself back on the camera, it's quite revealing. That's helpful sometimes.
Okay. Even going to a job fair can be quite intimidated. So I want to remind you that fear has 2 meanings, and the choice is yours, what you choose. One is forget everything and run from this fear. And another one, face everything and rise. What do you choose? It's your decision, it's your choice. Anyway, to go to a job fair, it's good to prepare yourself with our resources on our website. Then you can your checklist what to do on job fair, connect directly with employers, experience mock job interviews, test your CV, see how it works, analyze the job market, collect contact details and business cards from the companies, discover your job opportunity and find a job. I hope you will find. And you can make it a gamification from this, not just push yourself, but like challenge through the game. Just make tick. I have done this, and this, and this. And how many you will can cover this circle?
2 things. There was a lovely woman from Ukraine here. She said, I go to job interviews, not for the job, but for the practice. And that was a very wise thing, because she said, I was going for jobs that if they offered it to me, I don't know whether I'd take it, but I wanted to get more and more confident and more experience. And the second thing is, I really hear what you said about not getting a job on a job fair. We recruited somebody from a job fair, Alessia. So Alessia, one of my colleagues, because she was from Ukraine, asked, why are you here? And she said, I'm looking for a job as an accountant. And Matt said, well, we're looking for a bookkeeper. And she now works with us 1 day a week. She's worth 3 days a week. She's brilliant. So I know what you're saying. And I think the job fair is a little bit like a machine. Hello, who are you? Yes, we're recruiting. No, we're recruiting. Part of it is also branding and saying that they're there trying to help people. But don't think of a job fair as just a big building where employers are looking at candidates. The high street is a job fair. The bus stop can be a job fair. You know, sometimes people might ask you, you can say, do you know any jobs that are going around? My son was taking his CV to every pub in Peckham because he's desperate for some hospitality work. Now, it's taken him 3 weeks, but one of them came back to him and said, yeah, come and have a trial shift. And so that was being ready. And sometimes you never know this is why small talk is quite useful, because people say, where are you from? I'm from Ukraine. What are you doing? Well, I'm looking for a job. Oh, really? What sort of job did you do in Ukraine? I was a pharmacist. Oh, I know a job that's looking for a pharmacist. Now, I know that this is trivial, what I'm saying, but the point is you never know who you're talking to who might know somebody to get a job. The most effective way of getting a job is ask your 10 closest people to look for you. Most jobs aren't advertised in small companies. Maternity cover, you know, for 6 months they need somebody to come in because somebody's sick, because suddenly somebody's left. Schools are big employers. They often look for support assistants. You understand? Somebody who can just work with children. Many of you would be absolutely brilliant in that because these kids need a lot of love and care. So I don't ever say that it's easy getting a job in the UK. It's getting harder even for English people who've got the language and the skills and the network to get a job. Trust me. And we are seeing more and more people not in work. But I think some of this technique today has been really helpful. Being ready, selling yourself. Don't tell, sell. You know, have those answers, you know, in your mind to share and look for opportunities. Much more effective to work on LinkedIn than just spray CVs out. You feel you've done something because it's busy, but it's ineffective. Targeted, personal, talking to people. These are the things that I think help people get jobs.
And as you always said, network is always network.
Yeah, your network is your network. At the end of the day, how many people do you know and how many people can support you? That is very, very important to think. And you've all got those from people around here. One of the things is to find out what each of you are doing. It's very, very unlikely that all of you would apply for the same job. And say, I heard somebody who's looking for that, and on the WhatsApp group, share job opportunities if you see them.
And my suggestion, after job interview, it doesn't matter how it was, you pass this in a job interview or no, you have to reflect on what happened and acknowledge this experience and take it. What to reflect? An opportunity to access your strengths and weaknesses, draw valuable insights on areas for improvement, progress towards the goals. Please don't stop and move forwards. And what to do after job interview, it's also very important. What would you recommend?
It's always there. it's always thank them for having you on that interview. Always thank the panel because they always welcome you also there. So that is the chance for you to express your feeling, appreciation, and then just pray that you get it. But you have done your best. So don't bother to think too much about it. The best you could do, you have already done in your interview.
Yeah.
So don't just keep on thinking, you know, what will happen if I don't get the job. It's not the end of the world. There are always other opportunities.
Sometimes if you don't get the job, you can say, can I have some feedback? Now, they may say, it's not our policy to give feedback. We had this situation where we applied for a big grant. We spent 3 or 4 days on this application, and we got this letter saying, due to the great number of applicants, we won't be able to give you any feedback. And I nearly put the phone down and I said, that's not good enough. I said, if you want people in the future to apply, especially from our sector, we need feedback. The guy rang me, said, fair point. He gave me some great feedback. And then I said to him, well, we're really, really interested in working with you. If there's anything else that comes your way, let us know. You could say, well, I haven't been successful on this occasion, but can you keep my CV on file? You understand? Put it in the filing cabinet. That's a good thing. And also say, I would be interested in any other things that come up within the company. Sometimes if you love the company, take a more junior role, because once you're in the company, they'll know you. They respect you. They understand that you're a hard worker. Sometimes that does make a difference.
Then again, I will mention what you say normally. You are on the table, otherwise you are on the menu.
Well, I suppose that's the thing. You've got to get to so that you can actually be remembered, and follow up is nice. And obviously, thanking people is important.
Yes, you can show appreciation, reinforce interest. If you talked about some areas that you are interested in, you can ask them, remind them about yourself, and show your professionalism, and also increase your chance to get in talent pool of this company. So next time when a company want to hire someone, they firstly they look at this talent pool, that your CV will be, hopefully, will be in this talent pool, and they can hire next time. So sometimes it happens. It's again in Ukraine. Таке мотиваційне послання. Кожне мертве тіло на горі Еверест колись було дуже мотивованою особою, тому трохи заспокойся. Не все одразу, це гриземо це потихеньку, їмо цього слона невеличкими порціями. And if you want to be here, don't stop here, don't quit here. Keep going, and one day you will be on the top of this, and you will find job. If you don't mind, I will back to the STAR method. Yes, and I suggest to practice on this STAR method. Yeah, here is. Who wants to explain some? No, Tariq, can you ask some questions for our job interview?
Yes, like I have asked before that have you done any training before? Have you given any training before? So this is what sort of a reply you can give for that. Have you an experience of training people?
Have you trained anyone?
I train.
Yeah, if
Somebody training me.
yeah. No, if you have the experience of training people.
I have, in Ukraine, I was a university teacher, and I have 20 years experience of
So-
training.
That's it?
So you can, let's start from this
Start.
situation. I was in Ukraine. Then task.
Okay. From 20 years experience, it's very hard to find just one example.
Okay, that's the hardest one. Find.
I don't know. I never. I can't say hardest, because I always enjoy my work, and I always enjoy achievement of my students. And now they are my friends on Facebook, and I see how they enjoy. Somebody is a teacher of Sorbonne University. Some of them is work for a big corporation like analytics. It's
What a result.
yeah.
So you have answered exactly STAR in a STAR manner.
Yeah.
So you have done that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you
So
have
you
another
have-
question?
I
Give
think
me an
Steve
example when.
can ask any other question. Which
Well, I'll give you an example of a question about training. Okay, I run I've run an organisation, and we did some training for our staff on safeguarding. It was my responsibility because it was part of the law that our staff working with vulnerable adults had training in safeguarding. What did we do? We had a whole induction programme. We went through the policy and we asked people to really sign it to say that they understood it. It changed because on one occasion, one of my staff came to me and said, somebody has disclosed that something has happened, and I know that from the safeguarding policy it was my responsibility to escalate it. And they told me, and it really helped to make sure that person was safe. So can you see? It was training, but it was like, what was the outcome? And did it feel genuine? Because that wasn't made up. That was exactly what happened. So I think it's if you're able to find an example like that and think of STAR, what was the situation? What was the tasks? What was the outcome? And what was the results? Or what was the action? And what was the results? I hope that's helpful.
I ask you about questions. Maybe you can ask.
Can I ask you a question, somebody? When you made a mistake, and what did you learn? Tell me about making mistakes. You can? Come on then, let's do that.
So I used to have the YouTube channel, and I had a video editor with me. And once he sent me the video, which was not checked by me. I mean, like, I relied, I thought like, oh, he probably knows everything. And then I understood, when I uploaded this video, there was a problem on one segment has a problem with the sound. So I had to delete this video, connect again my editor and ask for redoing this stuff, and then re-upload it. So this situation taught me just like always double check stuff before uploading, because this is like my job and right now as well. So yeah, it's just about checking everything a million times before it will go viral. It will go viral as well, but like it will go online.
Brilliant. Really, it gave me an understanding that it was a real situation, that she took responsibility. She didn't think, oh, because when you put something up on the internet, it can be disaster. And then she said she tackled it by going back to the person who did it, and the results when he went up, it was safe. Well done. Really good.
Okay, it's my turn to ask questions. Give me example when the company found that a big amount of money was lost.
It's not happening in your company.
Terrible for me.
Which company is that? Find out.
No, so sorry, no.
Okay. This is almost like having to imagine, isn't it?
Yeah.
To guess what happened.
Okay, I will try another one. Amina.
I can answer on your previous question.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked with some brand, and they not lost money, but they spent a lot of money on not smart advertising company. They make a wrong decision, and they didn't want to hear anyone because they take part in event where there is no their auditory, target auditory. Yeah, and after this situation together, so it was not my decision, but I couldn't influence on this situation because it was their big decision. And after this situation, we together started to work and thinking about our real target auditory.
So maybe it was your initiative to...
Yeah, because I understood it was very expensive product, not for massive, not for everyone. And I make offer for them in which way we can grow in this in this brand. But unfortunately, it was January, February of 2022.
Okay, so
Yeah, and we
I was curious about results, but
yeah, there is no result. So because it's where it started, and all our plans for spring fallen. But we really with them really have. I saw example where not smart planning can lead to a loss of a lot of money.
Mm.
Okay.
so we have a situation. What happens with companies and task? What Amina saw for herself, how to solve this. Action, what she did, and result will come. Would anyone continue this game? I can ask. Give me example when, for example, in school, people.
You can
can't
ask like if you have a conflict with any team members of yours, give with example how you have resolved that conflict.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We discussed it already.
Sorry, I can't remember
No.
the conflict situation now in my work.
I work in this client. No?
No, in Ukraine I work as a marketing manager.
Marketers always have a problem with selling.
With the
we
finance
we
people.
have a wonderful team.
Sales.
Yeah, really. So sometimes we have some problem with packaging, but it's not conflict situation. Sorry, I don't know.
No.
Now I cannot remember. Sorry.
Okay, but you can just explain something on job interview.
Yeah, I'm thinking a little.
Yeah.
Okay.
About conflicts.
Yeah.
I don't have much conflicts. I'm trying to be peacekeeper. Is my around me?
Oh, don't worry. I can give you an example. I made a really big mistake, and I couldn't believe I'd made the mistake. And I really was challenged because I made a mistake. And there was a lot of conflict between me and my boss. And I knew he was right. And it was very humbling. You know when somebody tells you the truth and you recognize it? And all I could say to that man was, I am so sorry. You are right. I made a mistake. And because I was humble, and because I was able to say, I really failed you, I'm so sorry, he accepted that. Okay? I won't even want to tell you this again, but I made the same mistake the second time. In my enthusiasm, it was a very corporate world, and I didn't realize that some things were confidential. I didn't understand the rules of this club, and I made another mistake. And I went to him and said, I cannot believe it. I've made a mistake. Maybe I should leave the company. And he was gracious. He said, I can understand how that happened. And the result was that we built a really strong bond of trust. And he is in a period of his life where he is very, very unwell. Very unwell. And I'm going to go and see him before he dies. Now, I wouldn't say that in an interview, it's a bit personal. But can you see, I think even if you've made a terrible mistake, how do you admit it? And I think if you were able to say that, which is specific, showed the responsibility I took, and showed the task that I did saying sorry, and the outcome was a really strong bond, I think that's hopefully a good example, but it was real. And I felt such a fool. You know, sometimes men, they don't like to be made a fool. And I felt such a fool because I made the same mistake twice. It was going to Bhutan, and I was meeting the king of Bhutan and the prime minister of Bhutan. I had a lot of responsibility, but I didn't realize something was confidential. Now, it didn't make a huge difference in the end, but it was really, really, really humbling. What was my role?
Yeah,
I'll tell you afterwards.
just like it sounds.
Bhutan is one of the most incredible countries in the world. Incredible. And it was a privilege to go there. I was doing an education consultancy.
Okay, let's summarize our sessions. What have you learned from this session? What you will take with yourself and will practice on? Nothing.
Be sincere.
Okay.
But also practice people. And like the new thing, like you said about recording yourself during this practice, because I didn't do this, and I think it's a kind of nice thing to see.
It is. It's a really helpful thing. Body language
Yeah.
tells you a lot. You know, being open.
Are you nervous right now?
No, I'm cold.
Sorry.
No,
Okay.
it's just me. It's
I found out about START method, so I didn't know about it before, but I need a little more practice.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The importance of asking questions, like, you need to know about your future employee, possible future employee, and it's also important to ask about KPIs, like some different stuff, and also to ask your employer how he can see the best person for this position. So you can also be like, you can measure yourself whether you would be a good fit for this position.
Mm-hmm.
So because he's searching and you are searching, so both of you are searching for the
good
role.
idea.
Yeah, this was really useful and very many tips which I can also take for myself. Thank you so much for this session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you add anything?
Yeah, I learned how important be prepared for all these questions, because in real life we never ask yourself about this, and it's very important. Be prepared.
Make notes.
Yeah.
Can you share anything with us?
Yeah.
All the sessions.
I write down all important questions that should be prepared in ahead.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. Would you add anything?
Today I learned that how is important to practice job interview. You also should be ready with your not just CV, but you should have answers for important questions.
Mm-hmm.
Learn something about company which you have interview, and you should have a few stories about your mistakes, how you resolved some problems and questions, conflicts in your previous job.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, thank you. You can use your CV and all the skills you wrote down, and then prepare the STAR method answer to this, to show them. Thank you so much for your honest. I hope it was honestly. And thank you for your feedback on CV writing. Yeah, I'm proud of our team. Thank you so much. And we will ask you to make another feedback.
Can I just say one thing I've learned tonight? And I just really want to say this. So many Ukrainians that I meet have wonderful work ethic. You know, work ethic, you want to work. I've learned that it's so unfair
It should be talked
Sorry,
on microphone.
it's so unfair that our labour market isn't as open and as supportive. It's so incredible that you've communicated today what you're learning in English. And I know that words are not the same as getting a job, but I just really believe that all of you have got such great skills and great qualities. You know qualities? It's what the heart is. And I would really hope that if you have a job interview or even an application for a college or a volunteering opportunity, come and we will give you really good interview practice. You know, we'll pick you up where you think you're poor and you gain a bit of confidence. But can I just be asking you to be kind to yourself? I sense a lot of you tonight are feeling very low. It's tough at the moment. The winter is coming. We know things aren't the same in Ukraine. And if there's anything we can do practically to help you, I would love to employ more people here. If you want to volunteer with us for a bit, we could do that, give you some work experience. So I just really have learned a lot by your resilience and your courage and the qualities of your work and your English skills. And I just wish you all the very best as you look for jobs. Okay, I wanted to say that I really, really respect you. And I don't, like last week I said something and somebody picked me up. You've picked me up, so it's not our experience. It's not easy to know how to help you. We have to be honest and open, but we also really believe in you and have the solidarity with you as people at the moment. It's tough for you, but you will get something in time. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And sometimes it's humble to say this. You've got to go in at a lower level just to get known. And once you get known, a good employer will want to keep you and grow you and develop you.